Hello dear students, today we are going to talk about Arms and the Man. I'll give you an idea about the story and we are going to watch the movie. After completing this lesson you should be able to sum up the story of Arms and the Man and trace the main stream of action in the play. So, after being introduced to the 20th century drama and show, George Bernard show, the present lesson acquaints you with the play Arms and the Man by summing up the plot to you and presenting a short movie of Act 1. To warm up, you have to guess the action of the play from its title, Arms and the Man. And do you think arms are necessary for man? Are they necessary for his life on this planet? We are going to have an idea about the plot act by act. Act 1. When Act 1 opens, it is November 1885 during the Serbian-Bulgarian War. A Serbian officer bluntly enters into Reina Bitkov's room by climbing the water pipe to her balcony. Reina is a romantic girl engaged to Sergius, and Sergius is a Bulgarian officer. Bluntly talked to Reina and changed her ideas about war. So his encounter with Reina is meant by the writer to turn upside down her romantic ideas about war and love. And Reina feels happy that the officer keeps chocolate instead of polish. So she makes fun of him and she amuses that he has such type of cartridges. Reina and her mother help bluntly of course, to stay that night in their home. And when he wakes up in the morning, they gave him the overcoat of Mr. Bitkov in order to disguise him so that nobody will identify him and arrest him. Act 2 of the play took place 4 months later. Here Major Bitkov comes home and Catherine is upset that the Serbians have agreed to peace treaty. She was not happy with that peace treaty. She wanted the war to go on. Sergius Serenov enters, that means Reina's fiancé, enters to pass with Reina some time alone. Serenov lures with Lauka, the maidservant in the house of Major Bitkov, during the absence of his fiancée Reina. And Captain Plunchley arrives to return the overcoat, and the woman, Catherine, and her daughter Reina, they try but fail to hurry him away. They didn't want others to know about his reality, how he came into the house and how he went out of that house. That is Act 2. In Act 3, Reina puts her photograph. We came to know, of course, she put it in Act 1. We came to know that Reina puts her photograph with inscription behind the back of the coat, but bluntly failed to see it. The inscription was, "To my chocolate cream soldier." Nicola realizes that it might be more good to let Lauka marry Sergius, and he denies to marry her. So Nicola, who was supposed to get married to Lauka, decided to abandon her, to give up his relationship with her so that she can get married to Sergius. And at the end, Plunchley reveals his love to Reina. So the end of the play was crowned with the unification of both Loka with Sergius and Reina with Bluntschli. Now you'll watch a short movie of Act 1 of the play Arms and the Man, an anti-romantic comedy. I hope you will enjoy watching the movie and you will know the story more perfectly.
You're dead. Luca told me you were asleep.
I sent her away. I wanted to be alone. The stars are so beautiful.
What's the matter? Such news. There's been a battle. A great battle at Slivnitsa. A victory. And it was won by Sergius.
Oh, Mother. But is Father safe?
Of course. He sent me the news. Sergius is the hero of the hour. The idol of the regiment.
Oh, no, tell me about it. How was it? Describe it to me.
Oh, you can't guess how splendid it is. A cavalry charge. Think of it, Rowena. He defied our Russian commanders, acted without orders, led a charge on his own responsibility, headed it himself, was the first man to sweep through their guns. Can't you see it, Rowena? Our gallant, splendid Bulgarians, their swords and eyes flashing, thundering down like an avalanche, scattering the wretched Serbs and the dandified Austrian officers like chaff. And you kept Sergius waiting a year before you'd be betrothed to him. Oh, if you have a drop of Bulgarian blood in your veins, you will worship him when he comes back.
Ah, but what will he care for my poor little worship after the acclamations of a whole army of heroes? But no matter. I'm so happy, so proud. Well, it proves that all our ideas were real after all.
Our ideas real? What do you mean?
Our ideas of what Sergius would do. Our patriotism, our heroic ideals. I sometimes used to doubt whether they're anything but dreams. Oh, what faithless little creatures girls are. When I buckled on Sergius's sword, he looked so noble. It was treason to think of disillusion or humiliation or failure. And yet... Promise me you won't tell him.
Don't ask me to keep promises until I know what I'm promising. Well,
it came to my head, just as he was holding me in his arms and looking into my eyes, that perhaps we only had our heroic ideals because we were so fond of reading Byron and Pushkin, and because we were so delighted with the opera that season at Bucharest. Real life is so seldom like that. Indeed never, as I knew it then. Only think, Mother, I doubted him. I wondered whether all his heroic qualities and his soldiership might not prove mere imagination when he went into real battle. I had an uneasy fear that he might cut a poor figure there beside all those clever officers from the Tsar's court.
a poor figure? Shame on you. The Serbs have Austrian officers just as clever as the Russians, but we have beaten them in every battle for all that.
Oh, I know. I was only a prosaic little coward. Oh, but to think it's all true. But Sergius is just as splendid and noble as he looks. And the world is really a glorious world for women who can see its glory and men who can act its romance. Oh, what happiness. What unspeakable fulfillment.
If you please, madam, all the windows are to be closed and the shutters made fast. They say there may be shooting in the streets. The Serbs are being chased right back through the pass, and they say they may run into the town. Our cavalry will be after them, and our people will be ready for them, you may be sure, now they're running away.
Let me see that everything is made safe downstairs.
I wish our people were not so cruel. What glory is there in killing wretched fugitives?
Cruel? Do you suppose they would hesitate to kill you? Or worse?
Leave the shutters, Luca, so I can just close them if I hear any noise.
Oh, no, my dear, you must leave them fastened. You'll be sure to drop asleep and they would fall open. Make them fast, Luca.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't be anxious about me, Mother. The moment I hear a shot, I shall blow out the candles and roll myself up in bed with my ears well covered.
Quite the wisest thing you can do, my love. Good night.
Good night. Wish me joy. This is the happiest night of my life. If only there were no fugitives.
Go to bed, dear, and don't think of them.
Miss Raina, if you would like the shutters open, just give them a push like this. One of them ought to be bolted at the bottom, but the bolt's gone.
Thanks, Luca. But we must do as we're told. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, I shall never be unworthy of you, my soul's hero. Never, never, never.
Don't call out or you'll be shot. Be good and no harm will happen to you. Take care, it's no use trying to run away.
But who are you?
Remember, if you raise your voice, my revolver will go off. Now strike a light and let me see you. Do you hear? Excuse my disturbing you, but you recognize my uniform? Serb. If I'm caught, I shall be killed. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Well, I don't intend to get killed if I can help it. Do you understand that?
I suppose not. Some soldiers, I know, are afraid to die.
All of them, dear lady, all of them, believe me. It is our duty to live as long as we can. Now, if you raise an alarm...
You will shoot me. How do you know, sir, that I am afraid to die?
But suppose I don't shoot you. What then? A lot of your cavalry will burst into this pretty room of yours and slaughter me here like a pig. So I'll fight like a demon. They shan't get me into the street to amuse themselves with. I know what sort they are. Are you prepared to receive that sort of company in your present undress? Hardly presentable, eh? Stop! Where are you going?
Only to get my cloak.
Good idea. I'll wear the cloak, and you'll take care that no one comes in here and sees you without it. This is a better weapon than the revolver, eh?
It is not the weapon of a gentleman.
It's good enough for a man with only you to stand between him and death. Do you hear? If you're going to bring those blackguards in on me, you shall receive them as you are.
Open the door! Open the door! Wake up with him! It's going to be right, Sergeant. It was on the back just a minute ago, sir, I swear it. Well, you'd better get round there and check up.
No, still. I'm done for. Quick, wrap yourself up, they're coming. Don't mention it. The first man in will find out. Keep out of the way and don't look. It won't last long, but it will not be nice.
I'll help you. I'll save you.
You can't.
I can. I'll hide you. Here, behind the curtains.
There's just half a chance if you keep your head.
Shh.
Remember, 9 soldiers out of 10 are born fools. If they find me, I promise you'll fight. A devil of a fight.
seen climbing up the water pipe to your balcony. Our men want to search for him and they're so wild and drunk and furious. My lady says...
They shall not search in here. Why have they been let in? My darling, are you safe? Have you seen anyone or heard anything? I heard the shooting. Surely the soldiers will not dare come in here. I have found a Russian officer, thank heaven. He knows surges. Come in now, sir. My daughter will receive you.
Madam. Good evening, gracious lady. I'm sorry to intrude, but there is a Serb hiding on the balcony. Will you and the gracious lady, your mother, please withdraw whilst we search?
Nonsense, sir. As you can see, there is nobody on the balcony.
Take care.
Cease firing now, you fools! Do you hear? Cease firing, damn you!
Would anyone have got him without your knowledge? Were you asleep? Your neighbours have their heads so full of runaway Serbs that they see them everywhere. Gracious lady, 1,000 pardons. Good night.
Do not leave my mother, Luca, till the soldiers go away.
Narrow shave. But a miss is as good as a mile. Dear young lady, your servant to the death. I only wish for your sake I had joined the Bulgarian army instead of the other one. I'm not a native Serb.
No! You are one of the Austrians who set the Serbs on to rob us of our national liberty and to officer their army for them. We hate them.
Austrian? Oh, not I. But don't hate me, dear young lady. I'm a Swiss, fighting merely as a professional soldier. I joined the Serbs because they came first on the road from Switzerland. Be generous, you've beaten us hollow.
Have I not been generous?
Oh, noble, heroic. But I'm not saved yet. This particular rush will soon pass through, but the pursuit will go on all night by fits and starts. I must take my chance to get off in a quiet interval. You don't mind my waiting a minute or two, do you?
No, not at all. Won't you sit down?
Oh, thanks. Don't frighten me like that. What is it?
Your revolver! You're staring that officer in the face all the time. What an escape.
How's that all?
I'm sorry to have frightened you. Pray, take this to protect yourself against me.
No use, dear lady. There's nothing in it. It's not loaded.
Load it, by all means.
Oh, I've no ammunition. What use are cartridges in battle? I always carry chocolate instead, and I finished the last cake of that hours ago.
Chocolate? Do you stuff your pockets with sweets like a schoolboy, even in the field?
Yes. Isn't it contemptible? I wish I had some now.
Allow me. I'm sorry, I've eaten them all except these.
Oh, you're an angel. Cream, delicious. Bless you, dear lady. You can always tell an old soldier by the inside of his holsters and cartridge boxes. The young ones carry pistols and cartridges. The old ones grub. Thank you. Don't do things so suddenly, gracious lady. It's mean to revenge yourself because I frightened you just now.
Frighten me? Do you know, sir, that though I'm only a woman, I think I'm at heart as brave as you.
I should think so. You haven't been under fire for 3 days as I have. I can stand 2 days without showing it much, but no man can stand 3 days. I'm as nervous as a mouse. Would you like to see me cry?
No.
If you would, all you have to do is scold me, just as if I were a little boy and you my nurse. If I were in camp now, they'd play all sorts of tricks on me.
I'm sorry. I won't scold you. You must excuse me, but you see, our soldiers are not like that.
Oh, yes, they are. There are only two sorts of soldiers, old ones and young ones. I've served 14 years. Half of your fellows never smelt powder before. Why, how is it that you've just beaten us? Sheer ignorance of the art of war, nothing else. Never saw anything so unprofessional in my life.
Oh, was it unprofessional to beat you then?
Well, come. Is it professional to throw a regiment of cavalry on a battery of machine guns with the dead certainty that if the guns ever go off, not a horse or man will get within 50 yards of the fire? I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it.
Oh, did you see the great cavalry charge? Oh, tell me about it. Describe it to me.
You never saw a cavalry charge, did you?
Well, how could I?
Ah, perhaps not. No, of course not. Well, it's a funny sight. It's like slinging a handful of peas against a window pane. First one comes, then two or three close behind him, then all the rest in a lump.
Oh, the first one. The bravest of the brave.
You should see the poor devil pulling at his horse.
Why should he put at his horse?
It's running away with him, of course. And do you suppose the fellow wants to get there before the others and be killed? Well, then they all come. You can tell the young ones by their wildness and slashing. The old ones come bunched up under the number one guard. They know that they are mere projectiles, that it's no use trying to fight. And the wounds are mostly broken knees from the horses cannoning together.
Ugh. But I don't believe the first one is a coward. I know that he is a hero.
That's what you'd have said if you'd seen the first man in the charge today.
I knew it. Oh, tell me about him.
Well, he did it like an operatic tenor. A regular handsome fellow with flashing eyes and lovely moustaches, shouting his battle cry and charging like Don Quixote at the windmills. We did laugh.
You dared to laugh?
Yes. But then, when the sergeant ran up white as a sheet and told us they'd sent us the wrong ammunition and that we couldn't fire a round for the next 10 minutes, we laughed at the other side of our mouths. I've never felt so sick in my life, though I've been in one or two very tight places. I hadn't even a revolver cartridge, or only chocolate. With no bayonets, nothing. Of course, they just cut us to pieces. And there was Don Quixote, flourishing like a drum major and thinking he'd done the cleverest thing ever known, whereas he ought to be court-martialed. Of all the fools ever let loose on a field of battle, that fellow must be the very maddest. Now, he and his regiment simply committed suicide, only the pistol misfired, that's all.
Indeed. Would you know him again if you saw him?
Oh, shall I ever forget him?
This is the photograph of the gentleman, the patriot and the hero, to whom I am betrothed.
I'm really very sorry. Was it fair to lead me on? Yes, that's Don Quixote, not a doubt of it.
Why'd you laugh?
No, I didn't laugh, I assure you. At least I didn't mean to, but when I think of him charging the windmills and imagining he was doing the finest thing...
Give me back the portrait, sir.
Of course, certainly. I'm very sorry. Perhaps I'm quite wrong, you know. No doubt of it. Most likely, he got wind of the cartridge business somehow and knew it was a safe job.
You mean to say that he was a pretender and a coward? You did not dare say that before.
It's no use, dear lady. I can't make you see it from the professional...
So much the better for you.
How?
You are my enemy, and you are at my mercy. What would I do if I were a professional soldier?
Ah, true, dear lady. You're always right. I know how good you've been to me. To my last hour, I shall remember those 3 chocolate creams. Oh, it was unsoldierly, but it was angelic.
Thank you. And now I will do a soldierly thing. You cannot stay here after what you have just said about my future husband. But I will go out onto the balcony to see if it is safe for you to climb down into the street.
Down the water pipe? No, stop! Wait! I can't! I daren't! The very thought of it makes me giddy. I came up it fast enough with death behind me, but to face it now in cold blood, It's no use. I give up. I'm beaten. I'll give the alarm.
Come, don't be disheartened. Oh, you are a very poor soldier, aren't you? A chocolate cream soldier.
cheer up. It takes less courage to climb down than to face capture. Remember that?
No. Capture only means death. And death is sleep. Oh, sleep, sleep, sleep. Undisturbed sleep. Well, climbing down that pipe means doing something, exerting myself, thinking. Death 10 times over first.
Are you as sleepy as all that?
I've not had 2 hours undisturbed sleep since I joined. I haven't closed my eyes for 48 hours.
What am I to do with you?
Of course, I must do something. You see, sleep or no sleep, hunger or no hunger, tired or not tired, you can always do a thing when you know it must be done. Well, that pipe must be got down. Do you hear that, you chocolate cream soldier?
But what if you fall?
Oh, I shall sleep as if the stones were a feather bed. Good night. Doesn't matter. It's all my day's work. I'm bound to take my chance. Now, do what I tell you. Put out the candle so they shan't see the light when I open the shutters, and keep away from the window, whatever you do. If they see me, they sure to have a shot at me.
But they're sure to see you. It's bright moonlight. I'll save you. Oh, how can you be so indifferent? You want me to save you, don't you?
I don't want to be troublesome.
Oh!
I'm not indifferent, dear young lady, I assure you, but how is it to be done?
Well, come away from the window. Please! Now listen. You must trust to our hospitality. You do not yet know in whose house you are. I am a Petkov.
A pet what?
I mean to say that I belong to the family of the Petkovs, the richest and the best known in our country.
Oh, yes, of course, I beg your pardon. The Petkovs, to be sure. How stupid of me.
You know you never heard of them until this moment. How can you stoop to pretend?
Oh, forgive me, I'm too tired to think, and well, the change of subject was too much for me. Don't scold me.
I'm sorry. I forgot. It might make you cry. Now listen. I must tell you that my father holds the highest position of any Bulgarian in our army. He is a major.
A major, bless me, think of that.
You showed great ignorance in thinking it necessary to climb up to the balcony, because ours is the only private house with 2 rows of windows. There is a flight of stairs inside to get up and down by.
Stairs, how grand. You live in great luxury indeed, dear young lady.
Do you know what a library is?
A library, a room full of books?
We have one. The only one in Bulgaria.
Actually, a real library. I should like to see that.
I tell you these things to show you that you're not in the house of some ignorant country folk who would kill you the moment they saw your Serbian uniform, but among civilized people. We go to Bucharest every year for the opera season, and I have spent a whole month in Vienna.
Oh, I saw that, dear young lady. I saw at once that you knew the world.
Have you ever seen the great opera of Ernani?
Is that the one with the devil in it in red velvet and a soldier's chorus?
No.
Oh, then I don't know it.
I thought you might have remembered the great scene where Ernani, flying from his foes, just as you are tonight, takes refuge in the castle of his bitterest enemy, a Castilian noble. The noble refuses to give him up. His guest is sacred to him.
Have your people got that notion?
My mother and I understand that notion, as you call it. And if instead of threatening me with your pistol, you had simply thrown yourself as a fugitive on our hospitality, you would have been as safe as in your father's house.
I'm quite sure.
Oh, it's useless to try to make you understand.
Oh, don't be angry. You see how awkward it would be for me if there were any mistake. My father is a very hospitable man. He keeps 6 hotels, but I couldn't trust him as far as that. What about your father?
He is away at Slivnitsa, fighting for his country. I answer for your safety. There is my hand in pledge of it. Will that reassure you?
Better not touch my hand, dear young lady. I must have a wash first.
That is very nice of you. I can see that you are a gentleman.
Eh?
You must not think that I'm surprised. Bulgarians of really good standing, people in our position, wash their hands nearly every day. So you can see that I can appreciate your delicacy. You may take my hand.
Thanks, gracious lady. I feel safe at last. And now, would you mind breaking the news to your mother? I'd better not stay here secretly longer than is necessary.
If you'll be so good as to keep perfectly still whilst I'm away.
Certainly.
You're not going to sleep, are you? Do you hear? Wake up! You're falling asleep!
Falling asleep? No, not in the least in the world, I assure you. I was only thinking. It's all right, I'm wide awake.
Will you please stand up whilst I'm away?
Oh, certainly.
All the time, mind.
Certainly. You may depend on me. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Where am I? That's what I want to know. Where am I? Oh, I must keep awake. Nothing keeps me awake except danger, remember that. Danger, danger. Where's danger? I must find it. Oh, what am I looking for? Sleep? Danger? I don't know. Ah, yes. Now I know. I'm to go to bed, but not to sleep. I'm sure not to sleep because of danger. Not to lie down either, only sit down.
He's gone. I left him here.
Here? Then he must have climbed down.
Oh.
Fast asleep. The brute! Sir! Sir! Sir!
Oh, don't, Mama. Poor darling's worn out. He's in sleep.
Poor darling. Raina.
Yeah, I hope you have enjoyed watching the movie, the short movie of Act 1, Arms and the Man, the scene that depicts Raina and her chocolate cream soldier. Now this lesson have introduced you to plot overview of Arms and the Man, and you have watched the movie of Act 1 for 27 minutes. Now your assignment you'll find in the attached file titled Assignment 10. Thank you.